Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, I want to go over the CAGED system because this is really great for knowing the neck. What that is playing any chord in a C shape, an A shape, a G shape, an E shape, and a D shape, giving us the CAGED system. Luckily, if you're playing bar chords, you're already doing two of those. You're already doing the A and the E. If I jump up here to this bar chord, what I'm doing is playing this E, right? And I'm just taking the zeros up with me. And wherever I land with that note, my root note, is the name of the bar chord. So that's my A bar chord in an E shape, right? That's what we're already doing. Now, if I jump down here, this bar chord is just my A chord taking the zeros up with me, right? And whatever note this is the name of the bar chord. So that's my D bar chord in an A shape, okay? So we're already doing two of those. Now we can use those notes as reference points. So that's my root note here. So let's do now the C form. If I have my C, all right, this is my C note, this is my root note. So whatever note that is going to be the name of the bar chord. So luckily, if I have my D right here that I was doing, that's my root note. So I just have to take my C and match that root note. All right, now the only thing is, it's a little bit tricky, is we have to switch our fingers because we have to take those zeros up with us, okay? So that becomes my D in a C shape and my D in an A shape. Now, the reason that this gets really beneficial is not only can you mix up your chords and do them in a rhythm way, but for lead, it gives you like a visual of where these chords appear in two different positions, which is really nice. So we can do that same idea, like utilizing the root note. If I have this, my A bar chord in my E shape, right, I can do that with G as well, right? So if I take now my G open chord, that's my G, that's my root note. I just need to make that an A, all right? The only thing that's difficult here is I have to take my zeros up with me, and it looks like this. Now, I use this a lot when I'm sort of visualizing and playing lead guitar. If I were to do rhythm for this, I would probably leave out the bottom string and just do that. And I do use this a good amount when I'm playing live. If I were to play G to an A, I might do something like that instead of that A, okay? But same idea. Now, that's my A note, A in my E shape, A in my G shape, or that way. Now, D's a little bit of the odd man out, and the reason is the lowest note is like open. We're sort of crammed up. We don't necessarily want to do this and then bring that zero up. This just gets like our fingers start to stretch out a little bit and start moving in the frets. But there is a way to do this that can make it visually pleasing. And it does involve the root notes. So check this out. If I have my A, right, this is my root note, and an octave above it is where my pinky is. So we're gonna think about that being the root note, right? The reason is that's on my D string, and that open D is my root note in my D chord. So we're gonna bring that up. But there's gonna be a little bit of a trick to this. We can use these parallel notes. What I mean by that is, if I play that A bar chord, I have those two parallel notes right there, right? And if I play my D open chord, I can play that A in my D bar, or in my D chord. So now we're going to use the open of those, the parallel of those two opens, and match it with the parallel of my A chord and build the D off of it. My guitar is never going to stay into this. Guitar has awful intonation on that B string. But now I have this form. Now it would really look like this, right? That'll sort of be my D shape, and then I'm just kind of using that as the parallel to bring up the zeros. That gets a little bit weird. So visually it's great because I have this. Right, so I can use it for lead, but I can just sort of like use that for a rhythm. So now I have A in my E shape, if I move down here, A in my G shape, and then I have A using my parallels notes in my D shape, right? That spans now the entire guitar neck, where I can use those visuals if I'm playing lead, okay? So that's where it becomes like really, really beneficial. And we do that a decent amount already. If you're sort of playing, you know, in like a blues or even a major. Right now I'm sort of in that A major pentatonic, right? And I can use my visuals for my A chord, right? Or my regular sort of A major, right? And then when I get up here, I'm sort of following that D shape up here. Now from that D shape, what's really funny is if I wanted to play an A, and I wanted to play it in a C shape, right? I would have to find my C, that's my C note. I'd have to move it up to this A. And if we look, right, that becomes my A in my C shape. That bottom is the same bottom as my D shape, which then I move here, then I move here. So now I have the entire system, right, for one bar chord, right? C, A in E, A in G, right? A in D, and then I can use those to sort of move my A in C, and that'll span, you know, sort of the whole neck, because now we're now up here, so we can just move to our regular A again and keep that form going. So that's where it becomes really beneficial. Let me do it for D as well. So D, right, in my usual A shape, D in my usual C shape that we've done, right? Now, if I want to move that D to my G shape, right, bear with me. I've got those three notes are parallel. I can use my first finger, right? And that becomes my G shape for D. And also, I take my G and move it up to that D note. So now I can sort of look at this in two different ways. I can say, all right, I've got my D, right, in my two forms, my A and my C. Oh, now I've got my D shape in my G. All right, that's pretty cool because I can use that to get from that D to this D, right? Well, that just means that now I can use that for my E shape. My guitar will not, it's not gonna stay in tune, guys, sorry. For my E shape up here, then I can use my parallels, or just notice I'm back up here on the 12th fret, so my D chord's like right there, right? And then we're back up to those two first forms. So I hope that helps. It's really great for unlocking the guitar neck. It is really great for rhythm guitar as well. You know, I had a gig where someone, I didn't really know the song, so I was just kind of brought in last minute. And someone was sort of just playing like a G to a C. It's not really going to benefit me to play a G and a C down here, you know? So I just, you know, said, okay, maybe I'll go up here. Right, so I kind of have like my G up here, right? I'm kind of doing like this A form of a G and just using the bottom three strings. And then down to my D form for a G. And then I move up here, and I'm just using that form for the C. And that just made it a little bit more interesting, you know. So you can sort of fragment these chords, break them up, but at least you know how to get to all of these chords all throughout the neck. So I hope that helped. I know I'm a little subdued, guys. It's like not even 6 in the morning, so I got up a little early for this. But that was supposed to be a really quick video, and it wasn't. But I do hope it helped.